All right, let's get this thing started. All right, if you're out front, come back and listen to our talks. Otherwise, you're just us, whatever. All right, so welcome to SecDSM. Thank you for being here. I know it's freaking cold outside. All right, so we're changing up the agenda just a little bit tonight. I'd be curious in your feedback. We threw in this kind of 30 minutes of, get your pizza, get your drinks, socialize, chit-chat and stuff. I kind of liked it. It was a little less rushed. Let me know what you guys thought. But I think we'll probably keep doing that. SecDSM 101 starts now. Then we're going to do the news with James Beal. And then we're going to have a tool talk from Jared, our wonderful AV guy. And then right after that, Casey is going to give a talk on mitigating vendor risk. And then after that, it's more social time. So a note, officially the meeting ends at 9. This place closes at 10. So usually some of us hang out and we have a lot more drinks after. By doing that, I have to say, please make sure I leave on time because I got in a lot of trouble last meeting because somehow we stayed out in the parking lot chit-chatting until like 1 in the morning and I was in a lot of trouble. So make sure I go home, please. All right, so a little housekeeping. So this is our space. Obviously, this is a production floor. A lot of really expensive, cool stuff here. Please don't touch it. We really like it here, and we don't want to get kicked out. This area is the speaker area, so try to avoid talking, stuff like that. If you want to talk, we have that whole lounge area out there. It's also where our sponsor is, who hopefully you've met and got a drink ticket from. Otherwise, bartenders, make sure you tip them. There's bathrooms right over here, and then there's bathrooms right out front. So there are 2 bathrooms. Disclaimer, rated R. So this was Brandon's big push. So we are rated R now, which means you can say more than one fuck word. Code of conduct on the website. Please read it. Please follow it. Reach out if you are having any problems or if you notice anything that's sketch. Stolen from SecKC, challenge ideas, not people. Board members, so you got myself. I'm currently the secretary. My name's Craig Liebhart. You should know me already, hopefully, maybe, I don't know. And then Brandon is the president. He is with a cold again. So we were just actually joking about how we've been started up since September. This is only 2 meetings. We think he's made it 2 since then. And then we do have 1 open board position, although I think it's been filled now. So if you like really, really hot to get on the board, like you need to speak now or forever hold your peace. Hopefully we'll have more news about that next time. Thank you to our volunteers. Let's see, how can you help? So speakers. So we do need speakers. Right now I think we're actually sitting pretty good through April. So you've got a little bit of time to think about a talk that you want to submit. Let us know if you have like an idea, you want to bounce it off someone. We can definitely help or give pointers and stuff. I think we're even working on trying to get like a slide deck template or something for people. But I think we forgot to finish that. Create a CTF. So that's another really big one. Jake makes a lot of really great CTFs, and they're always really, really hard. So if you're mad that they're always too hard, make an easier one. Let's see, otherwise volunteer. We're always looking for volunteers to help out with things. And then donations. So we moved all of our finances to Open Collective. It's a really cool website if you've never heard of it. Basically everything is right there. You can see everything that we buy, everything that somebody donates. It's all right there on that website, and you can also do donations to us from there. Big shout out to some of our major contributors. So these are people who have donated above and beyond and really helped us out. So big thank you to them. Transparency report. So tonight the space is provided by SecDSM and you. Thanks for drinking. The food is by SecDSM. Drinks are by Cyber Reason. I don't know how many drink tickets he's planning on giving out, but we really appreciate that. Again, financial transparency, you can go to Open Collective and see everything. Mini CTF. So we did announce this again at noon today, so it is live. Please check it out. Upcoming events. So the big one to point out is B-Sides Iowa. So we are officially joining forces with the B-Sides team and also ISSA. to help put on B-sides this year. So definitely everybody go check that out. It's going to be a really kick-ass CTF that weekend. Tacos. Is Stark in here? I don't think he's in here. So we're going to do tacos. This was Stark's idea. So if you need the details or want a calendar reminder or something, hit him up and he can give you one. But we're just going to basically go for lunch at Tasty Tacos on, I think that's Friday the 14th. All right, so I teased an announcement about some change to how Discord happens between all of our hacker friends. So we are planning to follow SecKC and a bunch of other CitySec groups and try to switch to Discord. So we do have a Discord. It's been around for a while. There's not a whole lot of people in it yet, but we are hoping to make that transition here later this spring. So now is a great time to join our Discord. So I'm going to leave that on there for a second, take your pictures of it and stuff. We'll also post a link again in Slack. And this won't be the last you hear about it. All right, cool. So I think next we're ready for the news.
Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Welcome to 2022. A repeat of all the fun. The news being, moving it. All right, there we go. I love this thing right in my face. It's way easy to talk. All right, so first up, this story actually came out a couple weeks ago, but it was actually a pretty big impact, so I wanted to throw this in there. We had some Russian hackers that were actually stealing, interestingly, they actually broke in and stole some SEC reports, and they were doing insider trading. An interesting part of it being, I think the guy that got arrested was once again the good idea of going on vacation as a Russian hacker outside of the country, and they picked him up in Switzerland and extradited him to the U.S., and he's going to face trial, but it was actually 5 people, and funny enough, like the news last month, I think it was last month, we just talked about that, the Fin7 group that made up the fake security company, 3 of the 5 people in the indictment, only one of them being arrested so far, were employees of this Moscow-based IT security company, which actually does supposedly penetration testing services and red team engagements. So I guess they'll do them for you if you pay them, and they'll do them for you if you don't. And he's actually being charged for hacking into networks of 2 of the filing agencies, or filing agents. And then next up, as if you've been under a rock or you don't know about this and you're actually in a security job, don't tell your boss you didn't know what this was. But Log4j came out. It is a lovely attack that is might as well be a CVSS 27. It is easily exploitable pre-authentication remote code execution and just takes a string to abuse a logging function built into Java. So I put both these stories up here because it's pretty much the flip side of things. So the FTC has actually stepped forward, and I believe officially it's just pointed at government institutions mainly, like CISA came out and complained at government institutions about getting this patched, but the FTC is actually pointing this now at private companies as well. So the FTC is claiming if you actually do get popped from Log4j and customers get impacted and consumer data gets stolen, you may be hearing from the FTC as well. So that'll be a fun conversation after you hear from them and the FBI and everybody else. And then this is a news story from a day or 2 ago. Microsoft actually posted this, if I'm not mistaken. We've actually got Log4j exploits. There was proof of concept code. Took a couple weeks, but multiple APT groups. So now you've got APT groups, which falls in with nation state actors and multiple ransomware groups taking advantage of this. So if you weren't aware of it, make yourself aware yesterday. And if you haven't fixed it all yet, get on it quick. The next interesting one, we've had a bunch of iOS 0 days. As I called out in the news last month, NSO Group is extremely popular and well known for dealing with these, where there's actually an interesting new technique, and this article didn't have the details. I need to go out and check and see if there's technical details out there on this, but it's a cool new technique that some researchers came up where they're faking a reboot on an iPhone. So one of the few ways to get away from several of these kits has been to actually reboot and hard reboot your iPhone, which kind of works. This actually hooks into the shutdown process and fakes it, so this is some pretty cool new research out there. And then we've got Elephant Beetles. So Elephant Beetles is a new attack group out there. I picked this one not only because it's funny, but because I wanted to put 2 GIFs of dung beetles pushing poop around, because that's hilarious. They're actually a cool new group. They're actually using a whole mix of tools, as it says here. They have an arsenal of over 80 tools that they're using. And unlike a lot of ransomware groups, this is more APT. They're willing to sit in environments and sit there and look. And they're actually doing the fun Office Space joke of pulling pennies out of transactions. So they're using their tools and getting in, sitting there looking for all the financial transactions, and then taking small chunks and pulling millions of dollars out. And if they actually get caught and they maintain persistence, they just turn around and stay quiet for a while and then come back and try and steal pennies again. And then last up, this is actually a story, I think I posted this to the Slack. It's a really neat interview from Unknown, which is, he's one of the main players in the Revil group, the actual Revil ransomware group. He deals a lot with the affiliates. This interview was done, I think, in March of 2021, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a really cool, fun interview to watch or to read through. It was recorded, one of the Recorded Future guys sat down and talked to this guy, I'm assuming over Tor. There's some funny tidbits in there, one of which is the last thing that I clicked in there, which is he's claiming that they have massive amounts of access and things like that, and they actually have, it was one of the questions is like, how do you have, Revil's well known, it's all over the place. It's not about the money. What are some of the neat things you guys are, looking at? And he claims that they have affiliates that are using their ransomware packages that have access to ballistic missile launch systems, nuclear power plants, and things like that. So it gets brought up about geopolitics and war, and that's as common as like, well, we could start a war if we wanted to, it's just not profitable. So it's a funny and entertaining interview. So if you haven't seen it, go check that out. And that is it for the news. We always like to do this as well, job openings. So if anybody is a hiring manager or you're a senior security engineer or something at your company and you're looking for new people, we always like to open the floor up. So if anybody has a job and they want to come up and talk about it, just let us know who you are, where you work for, and what the position is. Anyone? Going once? Here we go.
Hi, my name is Casey Howard. I work for Athene USA, and we are looking for a DR analyst. That's kind of the specialty that we really are looking to fill. But anybody really with TRM or technology risk management experience would do as well. So if you have any questions about the position, just let me know, and we can talk more about it.
Anybody else? No? All right. Well, that's the end for me. Finish up the 101 and we're good to go. Thanks, everyone.
All right, next month. Like I said, I think we're going to do this kind of same thing. So about 30 minutes or so before. So show up, relax, socialize, get your food, get your drinks and stuff like that, and then we'll dive right into it. We're going to have a talk from CJ on securing mission-critical containers against exploitation. And then Dreyhouse is going to give a talk about cool kernel features, BPF and SecComp. So those should be really good. All right, so did you want to do your tool talk now? Yep. All right, 5-minute break and then tool talk.